What's going on, guys? It's Adam P, and welcome back to more Newcastle United transfer news. Hope you are waking up, enjoying the morning, because if you haven't woken up yet, you are certainly about to wake up, because we've got a lot of good positive news regarding Yoane Wissa, while also being perhaps not good news at the same time. There's quite a lot going on. We're here in this video to get to the bottom of it. As always, if you're new around here, make sure you get down there, hit that subscribe button, join the journey, and join the 43% of the viewers over the past 28 days who are already subscribed to the channel. Get involved, make sure you are part of the channel so you stay updated with any upcoming Newcastle United transfer news. As always, it's going to be a double upload today, and we've got plenty of news to get into, and I'm fully expecting during the day as well for more news to come out. So stay tuned and stay updated. Starting off with the Yoane Wissa situation at Brentford. So it was reported yesterday Newcastle United has put in a £35 million bid up front plus £5 million in add-ons, of course, taking that to a package of £40 million. That bid, which has been reported from the likes of Ben Jacobs to be our third bid already this window on Yoane Wissa, that was rejected by Brentford. It's been stated in the Brentford point of view, they want 60. They've got no intent for selling less unless there was a way Brentford gets that second attacking player in, which have stated. Two needs to come in to allow Wissa to go. Where have we heard that before? Now, it was originally reported by Keith Downey and Craig Hope that Tottenham also want Yoane Wissa, and while we already know that information during this summer, that one seemed to have a bit more leg room to it now. It described Eze coming into Tottenham, a potential possibility where Charlton could have went out to Crystal Palace, which would then mean Tottenham would need to bring a new attacker in, and that attacker is going to be Yoane Wissa. Of course, Thomas Frank, the former Brentford manager, Wissa already lives in London, so logically speaking, you would imagine in this situation, and despite the fact Brentford would still be very reluctant with Tottenham, you would feel like in this situation, Wissa would edge towards Tottenham. That's not the case. Keith Downey has now posted out saying Yoane Wissa only wants Newcastle United. He's backed it, continues to back it, and says if Yoane Wissa comes into Newcastle United, he wants the number 9 shirt. And on top of that, the French African heritage and history at Newcastle United has been a major driving force for Yoane Wissa to come in. I can't believe I'm saying this, but agent Celestine Babayaro, agent Jeremy, these players are heritage in terms of French African players. It's actually been a major draw for Yoane Wissa, but taking away the crap French African players, we know which ones they are. Hatton Ben Arthur, Demba Ba, Patrice Cisse. That trio, Cisse autographs just behind me in the wall there. That trio is the trio that has convinced Yoane Wissa to pick Newcastle United. And that history, and I can't believe I'm saying this after the takeover, but the Mike Ashley history of Newcastle United has actually been pull power to convince a player to pick Newcastle over Tottenham. It's extraordinary. I've never seen a pull power like this before. The French African heritage of Newcastle United is actually the main driving factor of why Yoane Wissa wants Newcastle. And I don't know if it's just been the correct thing said, but I'm fully on board with this. I actually am. I continue to back it despite mental money being thrown around. I want Wissa. This is the one I want. I really want this player to come in. And before we talk about, of course, on Instagram, talk about his not the best behaviour on social media, but it's exactly the sort of player you want. He actually cares about Newcastle and what we've achieved in the past. He wants to be part of that. He wants to be the new Cisse. He wants to be the new Bard. I mean, I tell you what, I would not mind that at all because they were very good when they were in. And this is a player who's just scored 19 goals in the Premier League. Is coming up to 29 years old. The last real run in his career. He wants to spend at Newcastle United. And despite how things may be in his camp, I have to say, in a Newcastle point of view, I want him. I do want him. And some of you guys have actually disagreed with him getting the number 9 shirt. Now, are we really in a situation where we can argue whether or not he deserves a number 9 shirt? Let's be honest, Joe Linton got the number 9 shirt from Hoffenheim. Of course, the £40 million striker when he came in. He didn't deserve the number 9 and he got it because that was the Mike Ashley signing for a new manager and it ended up being Steve Bruce. So, listen, historically, Newcastle has given the number 9 out to new signings. That is something that has happened. And while you may argue you should get number 19 or whatever, and that may potentially be a possibility. But listen, I'm not fussy. Give the guy number 9. He's clearly scored a lot of goals in the Premier League. It's not like he's coming in, he's never scored in the Premier League. He's got 19 goals last season. Are we really going to pick which players deserve and don't deserve to wear the number 9 shirt? I'm telling you now, Yoane Wissa is certainly a player who is good enough to represent that shirt. And I'm sure, based on what the likes of Keith Downey has said about him, this is a player that will give 100% as well. I've got no issue with his attitude, no issue with his mentality. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Agent Denver born Papi Cisse in 2025, this guy knows his history. This guy knows the old school Premier League football, and I love it because that was my childhood, and that was his childhood as well. For those of you who may still feel like there was potential legroom at Tottenham to complete the sign of Yoane Wissa, within the last 20 minutes of this recording, Arsenal are currently hijacking the Eze deal. Poor power from Arsenal, by the way, fair play to them, but that would also benefit Newcastle because Tottenham's leverage and the potential possibility of letting Richarlison go to Palace doesn't look like it's going to happen, which would mean their opportunity to get Yoane Wissa just like that is now looking less likely, especially if Eze ends up going to Arsenal. As for those of you who are asking about Alexander Isak, no real updates to give out since my video yesterday, but these were photographs taken of him as he entered the training ground yesterday. The first time he's been back to the training ground, of course, since that bombshell of a statement. And I'm going to be honest, on a personal level, I wish I was a fly on the wall. I wish I was in the building whenever he got back in there, because that conversation, that talk with the club after that statement on social media, my word. Newcastle United are lovely in their statement across social media. In real life, they will have a mean streak about them. They will not mess around at all. And you can just tell, looking at those photographs, he would have been breaking it, driving into that training ground. And hopefully, when he arrived home after that session at the training ground, I'm hoping he's been humbled a little bit, because we can't allow him to keep doing stuff like this. And especially now, towards the end of the window, message has been clear, message has been strong. You don't like it, Isak, tough. You see out your contract and you will take part in our matches whether you like that or not. But that's about it in terms of Newcastle United transfer news, at least for now. I'm telling you now, stay updated, because I'm willing to bet later on today there will be fresh news regarding the likes of Wissa, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of more news regarding our players popping in there as well. And I wanted to talk briefly about this now, but about 1 week from now, Champions League draw. You almost forget we're in the Champions League because of how much has been going on this summer. But you got to remember, Champions League football is massive for us this season. New format, which is going to be better for us because we've got easier matches this time. There is no way out of the 8 games we're going to get. It's impossible. You can't get 6 harder games than we did last time in the Champions League. So when you look at the draw now, just over a week, and of course on the live stream there's going to be my live reaction. You guys can all get involved and be able to watch and witness the draw for you. So I'm looking forward to it, and I will be starting to slowly get into that mood and to give you my personal preference. Madrid or Bayern away. I want, in a selfish point of view, new away games that I haven't been to. Real Madrid. I want Real Madrid. I want to go to the Bernabeu. That's always, for me, at a personal level, a dream as a Newcastle United fan, to watch Newcastle United play at the Bernabeu. That's something I want to be able to do in my lifetime. But out there, 8 teams available. 2 pot 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure, let me know which 8 teams you want below. I just want new teams, but one exception. I do want Celtic. I'm going to be honest. After that pre-season summer against Celtic, got humiliated 4-0. I remember walking away from the game, liking my experience in Glasgow and liking the Celtic fans, but I remember feeling a bit, I guess, bitter towards how Newcastle were, because I feel like, especially going to these matches, I want to be able to have this football club show themselves well, and I almost kind of walked away from that Celtic game, especially just feeling like Newcastle didn't show themselves properly. I want to be able to go to these games and for Newcastle to put the best performance in. I'm not expecting us to win all these games, but I'm just expecting Newcastle to go there, give 100% and to look good in the situation. And Celtic, deep down, it's one that I've got in the back of my head. I hope they win the playoff games, and I want them in pot 4. Hard pot 4 game, but bring it on. I want the best of the best. I want Newcastle to look good against the best. So we'll see how things go. Champions League draw, though. Let me know your opinions down below. What teams do you want? I'm starting to get excited now. To start to get in that mood. We'll sort out the Isak stuff. He is. You take this situation of Isak out of the transfer window. Newcastle is a striker away from having a good window. You can't deny it. I think the signings are brought in will help us long term. We're just a striker situation away from actually having a good transfer window. But unfortunately, it's been dragged down by a certain someone behind the scenes, and that person has really derailed Newcastle this summer, and it's indefensible. I don't care what's happened to him behind the scenes. I don't care what's going on. His attitude and behaviour is not good enough at all, and it's damaged Newcastle a lot in this window. Of course, we just spent the video talking well about Yoane Wissa. The same thing down there as well. He shouldn't be doing it either. Both players should be not setting a precedent for future players in transfer windows coming up to start doing this, because if these players get what they want and these players go out of their way to mess around with these contracts they got at football clubs, what does that say about our players? They're going to get confident and they're going to start doing it as well. It's a dangerous precedent. We need to make sure, with respect, chill it out. Let the teams have the contracts there. Let players actually abide by the contracts, and that's a big thing for us to do as well. But that's about it from me. Hope you guys enjoy watching. Take care. I will be on a couple of live streams today on Liverpool fans, so chances are I will put bits of those videos as well into my actual Newcastle United transfer news video later on, just to show you my, I guess, banter, argument, and just debate with Liverpool fans as well, because there probably is going to be a back and forth. I'm willing to bet, especially how opinionated we are towards the transfer saga, I'm willing to bet there's going to be a real back and forth. So take care. I will show you later on. Appreciate you watching, and we will see you all in the next one.